The Premier League title race took another twist at the weekend, with Arsenal dropping points to Sunderland, Liverpool getting battered by Manchester City, and Manchester City have closed the gap down to 4 points. I've seen all over the socials today, Liverpool fans looking very dejected, miserable. Can't wait for a lot of these people can't wait for this season to be over because they don't think they're going to win any major honours. Manchester City are very confident. Their fans online saying we've been there, we've seen it, we've done it. We've been chasing Arsenal before. They've had such a big lead and we've still closed the gap. In this video, I'm going to break down, in my opinion, why I still believe Arsenal will win the league, why I still believe they are the clear favourites, and if this Manchester City team actually has what it takes to close the gap. Because right now, they're on really good form. They beat Swansea 3-1. They beat Bournemouth 3-1. Dortmund 4-1, and they just destroyed Liverpool 3-0, which could have been 4 or even 5 goals to Manchester City. The Premier League title race for me has the potential to be a really, really exciting race. Man City are scoring goals left, right, and centre. Erling Haaland's on 28 for the season, I believe. Cherky got a couple the other day. Foden got a couple the other day. Everyone seems to be contributing. Doku skinned Liverpool's back line. Conor Bradley, he had him on skates at points. And every Arsenal fan right now, I have seen online in comment sections, making TikTok videos, is somewhat nervous, relaxed, a bit of everything, confident. I still believe this Premier League title race is not done. I still believe Arsenal are clear favourites, and I still believe they will win the league. Now, before we get into all of it, make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. That really would be greatly appreciated. And let me know your thoughts. Make sure you go down, smash that subscribe button as well. We've just hit 83,000 subscribers, and now we're steamrolling our way towards 84K, but the big road to 100K is well and truly on. Now, I want to look at the league table, and I want to look at teams' next games. I want to look at recent form, because Man City in their last 5 games have a worse form than Arsenal. But everyone seems to be thinking, everyone's woke up today saying, do you know what? City will win the league. It's done. City will win the league. They're still 4 points ahead. They've got the same goal difference as City. They've conceded less goals than City. They've won more games. They've got more points, and they've lost less games. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. Man City love a chase, and they thrive on it. They don't like being the favourites. They like being the team that doesn't have the pressure on them, and they just apply unbelievable amounts of pressure. Guardiola will be hoping, I think Gary Neville said this yesterday, that he will be hoping when it gets to March, when it comes into that final 10 Premier League games, he will be hoping he can be as close as possible to apply unbelievable amounts of pressure to this Arsenal team to see what they're made of. Because in recent years, Arsenal haven't been able to get over the line. Injuries have been problems, to losing too many games, drawing too many games, a lot of red cards. This season, however, 4 games in the Champions League, 0 goals conceded. 2 games in the League Cup, 0 goals conceded, and only conceded 5 goals in, I believe, is it 17 games? Which is still a very, very, very good defensive record. Now, Victor Gyökeres did miss the game against Sunderland, and I'll be honest, it was noticeable. You could see it. He occupies centre-backs. He creates 1v1 situations from his movement to the wire players like Martinelli, Trossard, and Bukayo Saka. Saka and Trossard scored 2 really good goals. Trossard's goal was a joke. I want to look at Arsenal's next 5 Premier League games. Or we look at their games in all competitions. Their next 5 Premier League games is a North London derby against us, Chelsea away, Brentford at home, Aston Villa away, and Wolves at home. Now, I'll start from the bottom up. Wolves, for me, they're pretty much already relegated. They are doomed. I don't see any way back for them right now. And at the Emirates, I do believe that'll be a comfortable win for Arsenal. Aston Villa away is tough. They're on good form right now, Aston Villa. And I do believe the way they're playing, that is a really tough game. They just put 4 goals past Bournemouth. They put 2 goals past Tel Aviv, 1 goal past City. Their home record this season has been very good. They've beaten City, they've beaten Tel Aviv, they've beaten Bournemouth, they've beaten Burnley, they've beaten Fulham, they've beaten Bologna. They've beaten, I think the only home defeat they've had all season was against Crystal Palace, which was the third game of the season. Other than that, they've been pretty much flawless at home. So that will be tough. Brentford at home will be tough, but I think they've got enough to get past. And a Brentford side that are in good form as well. Chelsea one and the Spurs one are huge. The North London derby, always form goes out the window. It doesn't matter. You know, we've turned up to the Emirates when they've had the likes of Thierry and Dennis Bergkamp, and they've not beat us. We've then had a 2-2 Desmond draw. Last year, under Ange Postecoglou, we got a 2-2 draw. We then lost at home. I do believe the North London derby, Arsenal will be 100% favourites, but I do think with our away form, we may pick something up there. The Chelsea game, absolutely huge when you look at the perspective of the league table. That game has got all the potential to be a banana skin for Arsenal. When you look at, if Chelsea were to beat them, they could close the gap on Arsenal. Chelsea have got Burnley, I believe, next in the Premier League. They're actually in decent form as well, Chelsea. You know, only lost one of their last 5. They're pretty much the identical form to Manchester City. But in that time, in the last 5 games, Arsenal picked up more points than any other team in the league. So why is there a panic? They've been the best of the English teams in the Champions League. They're in the next round of the League Cup, where they will play against Crystal Palace next week. What is the panic with Arsenal fans? You drew one game against Sunderland, who, by the way, were unbeaten at home before. They're still unbeaten at home. A Sunderland side that sit 4th in the league, that beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, that have beaten Brentford, taken points off Villa, beaten Forest, beaten Wolves, beaten West Ham, in a very, very good position in the Premier League. They're 4th in the league for a reason. They're not a bad side by any stretch of the imagination. So what's with the panic? You know, Chelsea are only 1 point above Sunderland, and people are acting like Arsenal have completely fallen out of the title race because of one draw. It's madness. When you look at City's games as well, City don't have an easy run either. Newcastle United away, they struggle there from time to time. Leverkusen in the Champions League. Leeds and Fulham, they will comfortably beat. Sunderland is not an easy game, but they should beat. Real Madrid and Palace away are massive. Absolutely huge for them. You know, Newcastle at the weekend completely capitulated, and Dan Burn will be missing that game. But for me, that isn't an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. And I think right now it's down to a 2-horse race. I honestly believe the Premier League table is a 2-horse race now. You look at Arsenal, you look at City, that's it for me. People may say that Chelsea have entered the race. Have Chelsea got the consistency and the squad to go to the latter stages of a Premier League title race? We will have to wait and see. But as it stands right now, Arsenal are in pole position. They're the strongest team in the league. They've got the best squad. And bearing in mind, right, because I don't think people speak about this enough, the injury list they had against Sunderland, their first team striker, their first team centre attacking midfielder, arguably first choice left winger, Kai Havertz, Noni Madueke and Gabriel Jesus. How much creativity are you missing there? Your main creative player in Odegaard, 2 wire players, a 10/9, and Gabriel Jesus plus your striker. But people are just losing their minds. I don't get it. It's not like Arsenal lost this game 3 or 4-0. Then you can maybe have panic situations. But look at this recent form for Arsenal. Bearing in mind the same Man City side couldn't beat Arsenal. Look at these recent results. What's the panic? Get through this run of games. Get into the new year. And then they've got Everton away, Palace at home, Brighton at home, Villa at home, Bournemouth away. And then they've got a massive, massive game on the 8th of January. And they've got Forest away. You get into January and they've actually got a relatively easy run. Forest away isn't exactly difficult. Liverpool by then will probably be out of the title race. Bournemouth away, well, they just got slapped 4-0 by Villa. Man United at home, they normally beat. And Karat Almaty is their last Champions League game. You then get into February. Again, April for me is where we will see if this Arsenal team have what it takes to go and win the Premier League. Bournemouth and then Man City away. Man City away will be the biggest game of the season again for Arsenal. And if it wasn't until yesterday, last season, an unbelievable last-minute goal from John Stones or whoever it was, Arsenal would have come out with a 2-0 win. All I'm saying is this Arsenal team right now have been top of the Champions League, have been top of the Premier League at some points. And the panic is just obscene, guys. I don't really buy into it. You know, they're the only English team to have won 4 out of 4. They haven't conceded a goal in the Champions League. And as it stands, they are the only team in the Champions League to have not conceded a goal. They've got the best team in the world coming up next in Bayern Munich. Imagine if they go out and beat Bayern Munich. Is everyone that was ranting and raving about they lost to Sunderland, would anyone care if they go and beat Bayern Munich? Would anyone care if they go and beat Spurs, Bayern Munich and Chelsea? Like, bearing in mind, after the international break, Noni Madueke, Kai Havertz, Odegaard and Gyökeres should all be back. So there's a long way to go. I don't think Man City right now are afraid of a chase. I don't think Arsenal should be panicking. The one team that I do think is out of the title race is Liverpool. They're 8 points behind. They're a point off of 10th. But look how congested it is. There's 3 points between 3rd and 10th. It's goal difference that is separating the teams. What is this Premier League? We've won 2 of our last 5 games, and yet we're still 5th, which is absolutely extraordinary. It really, really is. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you go down, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.